I had to come from a different direction, so I couldn't get set up the way I normally do. So we're alive in my hand, so I can get up there quick, because they're going to see me through the windows if they're looking. Hopefully they're not. They're not. There's nobody in the windows. Let's see, Delphi Academy, Los Angeles. I want to bring that up. I've been trying to. They keep closing the doors too fast. I'll explain while I was late. In a minute. Delphi Academy, Los Angeles has a lawsuit against it for protecting a child predator who they gave a glowing review to go to Albert Einstein Academy and attack 6 more kids. He's in prison now because that wasn't a Scientology school. Now there's a lawsuit from one of those children against the Delphi Academy for giving a child predator a glowing review to go to a new school. It's on the internet. You can find it. That was good. People stopped. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but people stopped to listen. Guys, I'm so late. It was awful. I should have been here an hour ago. Let's see. So it's 5:30. I'm trying to think where I want to set up tonight. Let's see. You know what? We'll set up right here tonight, and then if I think I need to, I'll move. All right. So I don't like coming up here holding my phone in my hand, because then I have to get out stuff. So give me a second. I don't know how to actually do this. Oh, I know how. Let's do this. If I put it, so I'm going to be moving. Look away. All right. Let's put it in the tripod. Yeah, okay. That'll work. All right, and then I'll extend the legs. So just give me a second. Normally I'm half ready to go when I get up here, but I had to park somewhere else today. So give me just a second. Don't look, I'm gonna be shaking a lot. Okay. And moving. Sorry. That's why I normally have it already in the tripod when I get here, because this is annoying. I know I couldn't watch it, it would make me sick. Alright. Alright, hey, they're getting quick, I gotta say. Alright, still shaking, I'll let you know when I'm done. We're done. Alright. Let's see who's here. Hey, Lily Eve. So, yeah, I hit them with the Delphi Academy lawsuit because it's something you can find on the internet. I've really been pushing that lately because it's something Scientologists, passerbys can all look up on the internet. Matter of fact, I need to put a link to it in my community page. So, Scientology School Delphi Academy is in a lawsuit right now because they covered for a child predator, let his contract expire, gave him a glowing review to another school where he attacked 6 more children. Now, one of those victims is suing them for not protecting them in their school. As we know, Scientology covers for child predators in their churches and in their schools. We know of the Scientology daycare that allowed a child predator to attack children. Let's see, daycare is what, 5 and under? And they got rid of him somewhere. They just moved him and never told the parents that their children were molested. I don't know how you can do that, but Scientology does. That's why I'm here. So, okay. How you doing, Lily Eve? Hey, Jay. How are you? Man, I got here so late. So I use maps every time I come here, and it did not tell me about a detour. Hey, love Maddie. So I've been in the area for an hour just trying to find parking. And I scratched my truck. And I'm never going to that parking garage again. It was impossible to get a truck turned. So you come in, you get your ticket. You immediately have to turn between 3 posts. I'm in a truck. You're welcome, love Maddie. So I hope my hubby's not listening. I put a little scratch on it. It's actually way smaller than it should have been, because it had pushed the whole side of my car in. Hi. If you have any questions, I'm here. It was the gas cover, and it literally pushed the whole truck in. I was like, and I couldn't back up either. You're in that spot where you can't go forward and you can't go back. Thank God there's somebody coming out, and I said, please tell me how much room I have in the front, because I was scratching the side of the truck, and he helped me, guide me. Yes, it's not as bad as it literally was a tiny nick on, you know how if you put your finger in a gas cap, there's a little piece that sticks out so you can put your finger in. I literally put a little tiny dot on that. I couldn't believe it, because it pushed the whole side of the truck in. Shows you how they make things now. But I'm never going to that parking garage again. My normal one, the whole street behind here is blocked off completely. So I've been in traffic trying to get like all the way around, all down there, back down this way, and a couple blocks the other way just to find somewhere to park. Because this whole street back here, all the parking garages, all the street parking, everything's blocked off. And it was not on the map. Google, get your stuff together. It's okay. Our truck's what? Let's see. 12 years old. Still looks good. So it's not as bad as what I did to the bumper. So normally when I go in the parking garage, it's midday-ish, and there's always a lot of traffic. It's really hard to get in a spot. Well, there was no traffic one day, and I was like, cool. And it's really hard to back a truck out. People are coming and going in a parking garage, if you've ever been in one. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna back in. Spot I'm always in, just about. Well, there was like a half pillar to the right. Yeah, there's a wall, right? And there's this half pillar sticking out. And I hit it with my bumper. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. And I told my husband about it. I'm like, yeah, I won't back in again. This thing is I'm so short, I'm 5'2". And trucks are so tall. It's really hard. We get home, I pushed in the bumper, which then pushed in the tailgate, which now the tailgate comes out with a weird clicking sound. Thanks, Dan. I'm ranting about parking, because I should have been here an hour ago. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Don't tell my husband. I'm definitely gonna. There is there's a long line. I don't know if I did it or Tom did it or who did it. There's these 3 lines going all the way down right behind. It must have been from the pole, but I rubbed on it. It'll rub right off. So I gotta rub that off before I get home. Because I told my husband about the bumper, or no, I didn't. He was asleep, and he says, "What'd you do to the bumper?" I said, "Oh yeah, that was me." Or no, he thought somebody hit us. That's what it was. He said, "Somebody hit our bumper." I said, "Nah, that was me." I could have just been quiet, but I just can't do it. I have no filter. I can't keep stories straight. So I just find it's easier just to own up. Is it legal there for Scientology to have a sign left out on public taxpayer? I don't know. I know we can't do flyers like on the poles and stuff, but I mean, they haven't said anything about my sign. So I'm just going to let it be for now. Because these people down here have a sign out. So I think if it's this kind of sign and it's not permanent, I think they can. Hey, Dan. Yeah, they're getting fast, though. I came from a different direction, seemed to slither quickly in that door. I know. Oh, no, they're never standing outside. I'm like, from what I understand about Scientology, every time I'll drive by before I park sometimes, depending on which way I come in, and they never have anyone standing outside. They have the door open, they have the table out all by its lonely self, working all by itself. It's doing all the work. But the only time I've seen somebody outside is last Friday night, a week ago. I left late, like after 7. And when I left, I had to go back by, and they had 2 people standing out front. So during the day, though, I've never seen anybody standing outside. And I would have thought, I would have thought maybe it's because it was hot, but they have the doors wide open and the AC blowing. Thank you, Dan. I'm doing good. Doing good. Better than I was. Things are good now. But it was what I call it is first world problems. I don't worry about it too much. So, but yeah, they've gotten fast. So, I know that's why we're here, because they opened up across from the university. Have I shown you that before, Maddie? Where the university is compared to this building? Because I do try to show it sometimes. Because LRH bought this building 55 years ago. It wasn't part of the Ideal Org scam. He bought it because it was across from the University of Texas, Austin. Big, big school. Matter of fact, I need to check my email because there was a young man that wanted to do an interview with me because, yeah, they just sit that out with these pamphlets with pens in them, hoping the students will take them. I took one because it has their upcoming monthly schedule. Hi. Of the front things they're trying to do to get people inside. They do open mic night. They were doing a seminar for the purification program. That sign was only out a couple times. They do that on Tuesdays. So if I'm here on Tuesday, they have that sign out. So they're always trying to get these. And I had a couple, last time, Wednesday when I was here, I had 2 young men in a car get my channel, and they came in the chat. And they said they're on campus all the time giving out pamphlets. And I'm like, well, if you guys contact me via email, I will give them my phone number. And if they can call me when they're on campus, I'll get in my truck and come. It takes me 90 minutes to get here, but I'll do it. If I know they're on campus, I'll do it. Yep, I know it's across from there. Yep. Oh, they have. The only time I've seen the table out, like in the last few months, is on Friday. That's why I try to get here before 5. Because I'll show up around 4:30 and they're all close to 5 and they're already closing up. So I don't know why, but they put the table out on Fridays. And 2 times they had a freshman in their clutches having this really nice conversation and bamboozling them into wanting to come inside. And I walked up. Matter of fact, the last time there was these 2 girls, this woman with the dark hair, I don't know anybody's names here. I'm really bad. She tried to stand and she moved over and put her body between me and them. And I said, you can block me all you want, but they can still hear me. I was like 3 feet away. And they left. So both times that person, so the first time he told me I asked, I go, why do you think they're here? And they said, well, they're saying they want to be part of the community and blah, blah, blah. I go, no, dude. If you don't have $150,000 to give them to go up the bridge and pay for their courses, then you're going to end up being their slave labor in the Sea Org. And when I started talking about the, if you have to work till you're old and then they take credit cards out in your name, I told them how Mike Brown's grandmother was $160,000 in debt and how you have to sign up for life. He was already leaving. He was like running, and you know how they have that, smile, but it's not really a smile, it's a shocked smile. Both times, that's how they left. They're like, you know, oh, really?
Are you doing do you have a YouTube?
Yes, I'm on it right now.
I feel like I've seen it. I can't.
Maybe.
There's a lot of people that do this.
Oh yeah, it started last year, small in LA, and then it exploded over the last year. We're all over the world now.
The LA guy, I think.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them there.
So are you like based in Austin out here?
No, I live 75 miles north.
Oh wow.
That's why I'm not here. I'd be here every day if I lived in Austin.
Yeah, they're kind of gnarly. If you're on the Austin subreddit, you'll hear people talking about them. I personally know like how they act and stuff.
Well,
but-
thank God. I'm here. I'm here also because most of the people in here are victims too.
Yeah, no.
They're second and third gen and they don't know any different. So
Yeah.
there's 2 foundations that'll help them escape, and I let them know. But I'm also here to educate. I was just telling them how I caught 2 freshmen at their table that didn't know anything, and they had them bamboozled when I walked up, and I started giving them the facts, and they ran off.
Yeah, it's I don't know how it works. I guess people just.
You mind being on camera?
Oh, like yeah, no, I didn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people were watching?
I just started.
Uh huh.
I got 13, which is actually pretty good
that's
for
pretty
me.
Cool. Hell yeah.
I had 60 one day. I was like, yay! But it's a weird time at night. So I usually try to come midday. You know, and I get people. I love to be here at about 10 to 5 when classes let out. But I have so many people stop that don't know anything.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I didn't know anything.
Or did you almost get?
No,
bedridden, or
I
you
was.
just didn't know?
I was actually bedridden. I've since they fixed my back, so I had the time. And this guy popped in my feed about 2 years ago. I didn't know anything, and I went back a year in his videos. I couldn't watch them all, and I binge watched. And then he started introducing all these other survivors of the cult. These are all people that escaped and have YouTube channels and telling us their story. And when I found out about the child abuse and why,
Yeah.
because they believe they live multiple lives, they think their children are adults in small bodies.
Yeah.
So child abuse in SA is very, very rampant, and they cover it up because you're not allowed to go to the authorities. So all these adults that were children in Scientology are coming out and telling their stories. And that's what made me come down here. They opened in February, and the week before I started coming, there's some other people that come here too. There's another girl with a hat. She just hasn't been out for a couple months. She's got legal issues because of them. They like to throw.
Yeah.
They don't ever win.
Yeah.
That's not the point. They just want to harass
They have
us.
enough money to do stuff.
Right. So they're just right. Once that's over, she'll be back. So, you know, I've been happy that at least 80% of you guys, the young people, the students, know at least Scientology bad.
Yeah.
But there's that 20%, and they're trying to get, you know, the freshmen, first time away from home, lonely, don't have any friends, and that's how they try. They call them body routers when they're standing out here.
Oh,
or when
really?
they're walking around with pamphlets, they literally inside, that's their term, body routers.
That's insane.
And they call them raw meat.
That's insane.
Yeah. Because we have ex-Scientologists telling us what goes on.
Yeah, I was part of a fraternity when I was younger, so like I definitely, it's like retention rate based. Like you actually low-key don't need like I would do recruitment like for the fraternity, and it's like I could definitely.
That's exact. Yeah, and if they
like,
get in trouble, if they don't make stats, they don't care why.
Yeah.
And money never comes down.
No.
So their slave labor that they do feed and house, but in poor conditions, they're supposed to get $50 a week. And if they don't make money, they don't only not get the $50, they get fed beans and rice.
$50.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and Sea Org, that's their lowest, that's the slave labor, and they sign up for life. You
Really?
can't leave. That's
like
why it's a
illegally?
cult.
It's a legally binding contract, or it's like on some.
No, because if you try to get out, they have a whole department just
yeah.
to hound you, and they'll chase you down and bring you back.
Wow.
And they have. We've had people escape in trunks of cars. She's suing them right now. She was young then, younger. She's suing them right now. Another guy tried to escape on his motorcycle. This is, and they ran him off the road. They were going to bring him back, but a passerby called the police, and he got out. His wife had gone a different route. They got her at this was in California. They found her at the Vegas bus station and dragged her back. Took her 6 more months, I think, to get out. So I mean, so that's why I said, this is my sign, I didn't put it out yet. Scientology is cool, ask me why.
Yeah.
Because religions,
sure
if you don't want to go anymore, you can just leave.
Yeah, it's for sure cool.
And so when you get too old to work for them, and you physically can't do their slave labor, they stick you in a home with a bunch of other elderly Sea Org, and then they take credit cards out in your name without your knowledge, take the money because you're going to die, and then the credit card is gone. Well, Mike Brown, this whole list is all kids that were in the Sea Cadets at 8, 9 years old.
This is interesting.
Yeah. They were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old doing, supposedly in a school, because their parents were Sea Org. That was when they still allowed you to have kids in Sea Org. Now you can't.
Oh, okay.
If you get pregnant in Sea Org now, they bus you to the clinic because they don't want to lose their slave labor. See. Anyway, Mike Brown's he got out and went in the Army. He's been in the Army for like 20 years. Well, he went in last year and like stole her, like stealthily went in and took her out. Found out she was $160,000 in debt. And
I didn't think
this is all money. It's all about the money.
I didn't logistically think what would happen if you got old. That makes complete sense. And then Dude, the new singer of Linkin Park.
Oh yeah,
dude,
we know all about
You know what's
that.
even crazier is like Chester French
Yeah.
being a guy that was for sure sexually assaulted as
Right,
a
and he was
minor.
very
That's like the
outspoken.
craziest thing.
I know.
That's
and
insane.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh, trust me, the bigger ex-member channels talked extensively about that. That's the only reason I know. I don't really listen to music much anymore. I'm old.
Danny Masterson.
Oh yeah, I was. That's when.
He went down. Did he go to prison?
Oh yeah, he's in prison, 30 years to life, because they covered up for him. And I heard there was somebody I used to watch that I don't watch anymore. I was angry because he said, well, the only reason he went to prison is on their testimony. I'm like, oh no. The reason there was a mistrial the first time. The second time they allowed the Scientology in, and they got the documents from Scientology where he admitted to drugging and R-ing the women. But he said, I didn't think it was wrong.
God.
And they aren't allowed to go to the authorities on each other, but one of them did in like 2003. But it still took like 15 years to bring him to trial. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. So there were 3 people in that court case. There were 2 other victims, and one in each trial, that were on the stand as a witness of what he did. And we know of at least 5 other victims.
Related to that?
Yeah, Danny Masterson.
Wow.
They've been covering up for him for 20 years. And so now we're side-eyeing Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, because there's no way they didn't know.
Yeah, and those guys work for, I think they have their own anti-trafficking.
Oh, Ashton Kutcher does.
Yeah, which is crazy, because I remember they made the video. Was it Congress? I thought he talked to like Congress about it. Damn.
Well, he's since resigned from that board.
Yeah, you kind of have to, I guess, after that.
Yeah, and he's pretty much done. I mean, here's the thing. They have lived in secret since 1950 was the first book that L. Ron Hubbard, the leader, wrote. Yeah, he was a science fiction writer before that, and he wanted to make money. Well, he passed in like 1986, and this other guy in a coup, he wasn't even the person that was supposed to take over, took over, and he's worse.
Oh, really?
He's just an angry little man. And he bullied the IRS.
I heard about that.
2,200 lawsuits against individual agents to get the tax exempt status back. So yeah, you know a lot.
I heard
a lot of people don't know that.
I like reading a lot, and I've always been infatuated with cults and like things of that nature. And I mean, I did like journalism in college, and it's a very interesting concept to me. And even having gone through a fraternity, I was always like, oh, there's a lot of similarities between this and religion, rites of passage, things of that nature.
This first one here, that's the one that I started watching. And then, like I said, all these other people are all ex-members that have escaped. Serge Del Mar, wow, what he went through as a teenager was horrible.
I have a question. Do you know if there's any like collusion here in Austin?
Not yet. Not as far as the police. But in LA, they've got the LAPD in their pocket.
Really?
And they've been arresting protesters for bogus stuff, knowing they'll probably get out, but they do it on Friday, so they're in jail all weekend. They've tried to get them with restraining orders. They've lost. They've tried it. Matter of fact, when this first really started in earnest, there was one guy, William Good, but then all these TikTokers just started showing up, and they just stood there. They were doing First Amendment auditing, not really protesting. But when you have a sign, you're kind of a protester. But just standing out there with 10 or 15 people having a good time in the evening, they shut them down. That was their biggest body routing area to get new people in. It was right on the Walk of Fame. And in 2 months, they actually called. Now they know not to call directly. They used the VoIP on me here. 24 false calls in 2 months. Saying that the protesters had weapons. They said this. But yet you got 10 people out there live streaming.
Yeah. Wow. And so it's pretty bad in LA in terms of.
We've got people that all they do is go to the council meetings and the commissioner meetings, talking about the corrupt collusion between the LAPD and Scientology, that division, because they pay them for their events triple rate and give millions, to be security on their off hours, and they give millions to the LAPD foundations, and see, they've been working on them for 50 years.
Yeah, I wonder how it's interesting you say that, because APD
top 3 reasons Scientology is a scam. Go.
What?
Top 3 reasons. Go.
All they want is your money, and they put it in the bank in the Bahamas.
It's interesting you say that.
I can't think that fast.
No, you're good. It's interesting you say that because APB cut a bunch of people from the force. They're trying to hire more people. So I think they're probably just down bad right now. And
Okay,
it'd be,
I can
like,
do
crazy
that,
opportunity.
Maddie. I don't know. He knows an awful lot. AA's on here. She's an ex-member.
Oh,
She's
really?
been telling me a lot of stuff.
That's pretty cool.
She's in South Africa.
Wow.
So she comes on. I appreciate it. I love when she comes on.
Well, I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you.
All right, you too. Yeah,
You have a
definitely
great
check
day.
those channels out.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
they're probably a little more interesting than I can be.
Yeah, I got you.
But
I took a photo, so
yeah, that's awesome. Thanks.
no problem. All right, have a great day.
All right. Yeah. But also, Maddie, while we're talking, you see I'm still being loud. People can hear that too. So it's both. He did kind of know a lot. And you're right, they could be. But I'll be honest, I don't have the brain power to worry about who's being shady. Let me go back, you guys. Okay, the young people walking by, the table, yeah. Yeah, okay, we're talking about, oh, I missed it, yeah. That's true. I mean, but I don't really do that much with the members that are like here all the time. I don't really bother with anymore. They've heard what I have to say. I honestly lately have just been saying, hi, how you doing? Because they know. They've heard the foundation. They've heard the stuff I have to say. And I get them when the doors are still open. Now I'm mainly geared, I want to really get the public Scientologists that walk by. That's why I like coming on Friday. And the students, now that they're back in class. Because the summer was dead. So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of felt like he was probably okay. He didn't have the zany eyes. I do get quite a few people that already know a lot. So, yeah, thanks for being here. I know it's a weird time for you. It's probably morning for you, huh? So I was complaining when I first came on. I got here an hour late. Because the maps didn't tell me this, where I put where I'm going to go park in the maps. It did not tell me that road was blocked tonight because of the construction. They're building a skyscraper back here. I spent an hour just trying to get out. Traffic was, it was between 4:30 and 5, so everybody's wanting to go home. So I'm stuck in traffic, like literally almost stopped, just to get back around and get down the road to another place to park. And then my big old truck almost got stuck in the parking garage. Thank God a passerby, I asked him who was leaving, I said, please let me know how much space I have. It was scary because I tried to back up and leave. And backing up, I was, you know how you just get in that spot where you just can't go forward or back? Oh, I thought I was stuck. I really did. I thought I was going to have to do a 50-point turn, which I actually did almost. I was up and back and up and back and up and back. It was funny. And a banana. Hello. So yeah, I have a lot of energy. I was in the car a little longer than usual. And I had a lot of coffee. So I will turn around so we can see the door. So we can see if anybody's coming. That helps me. I was kind of glad though that I was turned around because I always forget when I'm talking to somebody to put the camera on them for you guys. So luckily that worked out. So hi Susan, how are you? I like Anna Bananas. I like that name. It's cute. Oh, is it 6 o'clock? Is that why the bells? Let's see, she's on, and they're all in black again. I don't get, I know they do that when they have to do like manual labor and stuff. But I noticed that they're in black. Well, I'm not always here in the evening. So that could be an evening thing. But I notice it a lot on Fridays. And usually that's probably what, second shift coming in, the, what do they call that? The foundation org is at night. So I hit them with the Delphi Academy lawsuit tonight because that's something that they can look up themselves. Isn't black for the RPF. I asked Aaron about that a while back And he said, what I can tell you is it's not the RPF because of where we are. He said it's most likely just they're going to be doing manual labor. It's like their work clothes. Because I noticed when they were setting up for the opening, the young people, they were dressed all in black, and because they don't want to get their uniforms dirty, and they probably don't own anything else. So it's usually that. And some of them put their vests on because they're wearing, well, no, they wear white shirts, and don't they, with the vests? Workstation every Friday. Thank you, AA. See? Because a few months ago, I had just really started coming for graduation because parole and selfless can't be here. And I liked it because the first time I was here, a lot of public walked by. And then there was a Friday we saw a bunch of people in black. So I put it in the chat one day on Aaron's channel. And I said, why would I see a bunch of people in black going in the Austin org? And he said, because it's just a regular org, it's not the RPF. That's kind of something they do at other bases. It's called the EPF now, Estates Project Force. Michael, thank you. Yeah, we know. Hey, Gary. How are you? You need to look back a couple of live streams. I made you a sponsor of a live stream because of your membership. And anybody else that is gifted memberships, I'm still trying to... I don't know how to go in and find out who has gifted or even bought memberships. I know there is a way. It's probably on the computer. I've exhausted everything on the phone. Because I was like, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. People that had given me cash apps, I made sponsors of my trips. But I don't know why my brain didn't think, oh, well, you know, the people gifting memberships and getting memberships also help. Because I'll be honest, 5 memberships minus the percentage they take will cover my gas to and from for a trip. Yeah, you have, Gary. So it was like right after you did that, or I don't know if it was right after, but yeah. So anyway, I'm going to make sure I do that. And I want to go back and try to find anybody else who had done that. Hey, how you doing? So I know there's got to be a way somehow. They no longer have an RPF. Now it's called EPF Category B. Yeah, we know that they said, with quotation marks, that they got rid of the RPF, but we know they darn well didn't. I'm glad I brought a jacket. It's sure to get filled quick. But yeah, this is a big... There's a lot of young people because, of course, we have the university behind us, and then behind... So the university is over here, and then a block this way is another road, San Antonio Street, and well, more roads, and that's all like apartments, places to live, parking, that kind of thing. So, and a lot of them, I notice when I'm over on the side, after classes are out, they start coming back down the street to go eat, because they either are going to go back on campus or they're going to go to a place to eat. And there you can see this whole road all down forever is like restaurants, cafes, all kinds of stuff. And behind me too, because I didn't realize how much was this way till today. I had to park way down that way, and you know, I'm in the car for an hour and a half drinking cold brew coffee and water, so I have to stop. So I found, I forgot about it. It's probably milking. So there's a lot of places to eat down here too. I got, it was supposed to be a slushy tea, but it melted. I forgot about it. I've had it for like an hour. Still tastes good though. So I came from that way, and I was so zoned and so in a hurry. I almost made it all the way to the corner before I realized I was on top of Scientology, and they had windows over there. So I like backtracked really fast and got started, and I just held my phone because I had to do it quick in case they saw me. So the name has changed, but the actual has the activity. Do we really think they did? I don't. I really don't. No, I don't think they changed at all. And you know what's funny? In reading the Dianetics, if you guys haven't been reading with me, probably not, though I understand they've closed the hole. Yeah, they may have done that. But then again, David Miscavige doesn't hang in that, he used to live on that base. And from what I understand, he's pretty much staying in LA now. So, and they probably only did that because of the press. You know, all the execs got out and talked about it. So. They'll make changes that for optical reasons, but they're not going to actually change anything. I doubt they change the activity, as that would be in violation of the policy called Keeping Scientology Working. See, you're right. They're not allowed to change policy. Now, it's good to know they closed the hole. I may have known that. I don't know. I can't remember. My brain, if you know me at all, my memory is Swiss cheese. I thought going off the gabapentin would help my memory. It's kind of not. That was one of the biggest reasons, is I was worried about what it was doing to my brain. Oh, whoops. Oh, that wasn't supposed to come off. What was that? So anyway, tonight will probably be kind of short because I got here so late, but that's okay. I'm here. I made it. That's all that matters. I should go over to the corner like I was going to, because I can sometimes get them coming in trying to sneak in the back. But I'm seeing a lot of traffic from the restaurants right now, so I don't know. Although what I did like being on the corner, I can't do it. So what I liked last time about being over here on this corner was the traffic that stops at the light, and it was nice, so they had their windows down. Plus I had people crossing the street, so I was getting loud about the daycare and the child essay. And there was actually 2 cars. There was one with 2 guys in it that asked me for my channel, and they actually came in the chat. And then there was another truck with 5 guys in it. Well, that street's closed off because that back street, they're building a skyscraper. I don't know if you'd call it a skyscraper. It's a really tall building. I think it's apartments right behind here. And so when I tried to turn, I saw a big crane. So it's closed off. Hopefully only for the weekend. Because my chat was moving. Sometimes that happens. Hey, Cinderella. Good to have you. I have to be careful. Sometimes when I'm reading, I stop the chat and I don't realize, since my chat's small, sometimes it doesn't move. And it disappears, so I don't realize it's not moving. I had to bring a jacket tonight. It's awesome. It was still 75, 76 degrees today for November. And our heater's acting up, so my husband's gonna have to look at that tomorrow. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of restaurants here, and you can't see it because it's a block. There's a Target, and it's like a building with a bunch of businesses in it. So you have like Target, and you have like a restaurant and all this other stuff. So there's a lot, even without the students going to and from class, there's a lot of traffic. Even on weekends, I see a lot of tourists. I get families that are visiting their students come by. And I think that's good too, because now the parents can be aware that Scientology is here. So that's always, I did have a couple times on like a Saturday, I had a family or adults stop who were, and be like, I didn't know they were here, and didn't know anything about it. So that's a big deal. Yeah, you sound like you were in, Michael. We're glad you're out. We're glad you're here. That's the biggest goal. I mean, like, y'all know stuff is going on behind the scenes with, ex-members and stuff. And what I said about it was, the only thing I said, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore, I think enough people have, is no matter what goes on in the community with either streamers, survivors, whatever, that doesn't change the mission, and that's not going to affect me coming here. And it shouldn't affect anyone else that is being an activist against Scientology. Because big groups are always going to have problems. It's just going to happen. Hey, Susie. Oh, never in. Just watch too many YouTube videos. Exactly like me, Michael. Exactly like me. I'm moving the camera for a second, guys. Hold on. All right. I'm not set up as good as I usually am because I came up so fast. So let me straighten. I like standing on this side. I like standing here because I have a bench and a tree behind me. Then I have my wagon and my tripod, so it's really hard to get close to me here without me noticing. We've had some interesting people come up and talk with us. I told the last one, we were pretty sure she's just somebody who's off her meds, and she got behind me. And I told my husband, I go, she didn't raise the hairs on the back of my neck. He said, yes, but she's fine until, this is exactly what he said. And I was like, oh. He said, they're fine until she sees a snake come out of the back of your head and she wants to kill it. Or stab it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, gotcha. Now I understand. So you may see me be a little bit more rude to people that just want to be on camera. And see, that's why I said it's kind of hard for me to be rude, but sometimes I have to be. Hopefully soon I'll be getting the training for my new job. Thank you for taking the time to learn. Yes. Yeah, Michael, AA and some other ex-members have been on my channel. AA comes into the Dianetics talks a lot on Sundays and helped me. I had one idea about things I read in Dianetics, being a never-in, but AA and ex-members who've been through it gave me a whole nother view of it. So, and Michael, I call it a deep dive. I did a deep dive for a year before I came out here. So that's why I know so much, because I have deep dived the crap out of it. And oh, you're more than welcome. AA. More than welcome. Honestly, this isn't a hardship for me at all. It's gotten me outside more. Because you know about my health issues. I mean, this last year, I've been outside more than I have probably the last 10 years. And like I said, if I was at home, I would be a slug. It's not like it's taken me away from much. My husband's asleep during the day. So, it's not a hardship at all. It gave me a new purpose I never thought I would have at this stage of my life. It was never on the radar. I thought once the kids were gone, we were empty nesters. Well, then I kind of took care of my grandkids a lot. They moved away 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. So, everything happens at the right time for a reason, I think. If this had come into my YouTube channel, viewing 3-4 years ago, I would have never been able to do this. I've said this a lot, but it still amazes me that even 19 people are watching me do this. You know, I'm just a normal person like you guys, just not very exciting life, but because I always, I didn't get to do a lot of things I wanted to do younger in life, but I said, you know what, there needs to be people like me that just want a normal life to raise their kids, support my soldier husband, retire. I volunteered quite a bit, like with church and stuff. Just, there has to be normal people too. We can't all excel. We can't all be Elon Musk or Bezos, which is fine with me. But at least I'll be able to put this down. I don't know how long it's going to go, guys. Still here. Didn't know I would be here when I started in February, that week they opened. My only goal was to come down and hold a sign for the opening. Then I was like, well, okay, if I could get 50 subscribers, I could go live, which I did the day before. And then that was it. I didn't think past that. A normal life sounds beautiful. LRH used to program us against that which is so wrong. Yes, you are right. I didn't think about that, and that is true. That's why I'm here. Because you guys didn't get to have a normal life. So, yeah, I understand that. And that's why we're here. To get hell gear. I know. It is weird. If you haven't heard it, the quick version is I was bedridden. I injured 5 discs in my back. About 5 or so. I asked my doctor, can you tell me when it happened? Because I can't remember exactly when. And they said, well, our records only go back 3 years. And I was like, well, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. And then last November, my doctor said, the pain stimulator implants have been improved, and I think you would be a good candidate. I had not wanted to get one before because of my fibro messes up your nervous system. So they did what they call a trial version for 3 days. Oh, really, Hellgear? And it was healed in about January, and then I found out this place was opening in February, or else, and I'm like, and also, let me backtrack, had I not been bedridden 2 years ago, I would have never had the time to literally deep dive 24/7 Scientology and learn all the stuff I learned. All the child abuse that goes on. Yeah, he heard me. That's why I said it loud. And to get involved. And then I was healed at the right time. So, like I said, I always think things happen for a reason. So I try not to complain too much. It was hard, those years. Just the way the timing was perfect. Wanting something to do that makes a difference to vulnerable others. Yes. Hey, Brian, how are you? Good to see you. I was looking for your book on Amazon, and I should have went and looked. I could not remember your last name. I always just call you Brian. I never look at your whole name. Yeah, it did work. Oh my gosh, it worked. I couldn't believe it. I literally, because I hurt 5 discs and I fell, so they were injured, I couldn't even sit up. Gravity freaking hurt. So I literally was laying in bed. And it would take me all day just to unload the dishwasher. I can only do 2 or 3 items at a time. So they did the trial. It worked. And they put it in, and I can adjust the setting. I had to turn it off a few weeks ago to do an MRI, That was the first time it's been turned off since it was put in. And I realized about how much, I thought it was taking up 50% of my pain. It's actually only about 35%. But that's enough. That's enough to let me get around. I'll email you the link for it. Thank you, Brian. Who would have thought a sick person... I gotta read this. Oh, that's fine. Who would have thought a sick person would be dangerous to Scientology since Scientology has contempt for illness? Oh my gosh, that's such an awesome thought. I never even thought of that. Never even thought of that. Yeah, I mean, I've been able to get outside and talk to people, which obviously I was scared. I didn't want to go on camera. But then I found out I like talking, obviously. And I don't have any friends because we were stuck in one place for 30 years. The problem is, even though you don't move in the military, if you make friends, they leave. So I stopped making friends in my 20s. Because I'll be honest, you guys, Army wives, some Army wives, because I know there's other veterans on here, but some Army wives be crazy. And I ran into one, and I didn't want friends after that. Those things really work. My father-in-law had one. Yeah, it's the only thing I've heard that works. Because I've refused, my neck was injured in '88 in a car accident. And I have refused surgery many times. Because I've not heard very many success stories on fusing the discs or fusing the vertebrae. And I'm like, I get injections for it. I said, until I'm incapacitated, we will not even discuss surgery. So the pain stimulator was the only thing I had heard about that I really didn't hear anything truly bad about. So I was like, okay. And like I said, they put the temporary one in. Although it worked, but it's like a long cord they put in on each side of your spinal cord, and it was kinked. Those whole 3 days it hurt. But I knew it was its own pain. I had to ignore that and feel, okay, is it taking care of the disc pain? And it did. I can't see the option to gift a membership. I hope I'm not demonetized again. I thought I did all the paperwork right this time. That guy did a fake in to Sciento door and then knocked on their window. I missed that completely. Tim Light's talking, said no one ever. Oh, I'm going to screenshot that and put that into a sticker. Yeah, I should be doing my Scientology stuff. I have noticed, though, for some reason, it got really dead right now. What time is it? 6:24. It's Friday night. I usually see more people. You know why, I think? No, because you can still walk. I'm going to move the camera for a second. Hang on, we're going for a ride. I just want to go see something. Let's see. Because I see people. Last time I was here on Friday, people were coming up and down this road a lot. See? Oh, see? There, you can see why I couldn't find parking. There's a big crane back. That's why it's hard to walk through there, too. Because normally this side street is full of people going to dinner and stuff. So that means even the Scientologists probably aren't coming that way. So I guess I'll stay up here. There's no traffic at the light, so I might as well just stay here. YouTube decides to give memberships. You should be able to buy using this sign. I should be. I finally got all their stuff done, and there's some people in here that are members. So when I got demonetized last time, even the current members didn't show. The only thing I realized I hadn't done is and only because I've seen other people do it, they're like, oh, I turned off the commercials. And I'm like, what? I thought YouTube just automatically did that. So it's something through AdSense, which is what was giving me fit. So that's the part I don't know about. Or maybe that's something you can only do on the computer. So honestly, I don't care. Okay. Are you on an iPhone, Susie? I know people with iPhones have a little trouble. My other phone is dead right now, or I would check. I'll check into it when I get home. I'll open up the computer and see if there's anything, or they will send me emails. So I'll check. Because I want to find out. I know there has to be a way that I can look back and see who has signed up for a membership or gifted membership. There has to be a way. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing. So, man, there is nobody out here today. Wow. Wow, just nobody. Oh, okay, Susie. Yeah, I found out, see, on my tablet, which is what, when I was bedridden, that's what I watched. I had this really cool little pillow that you put I have a Kindle Fire. And I found out I couldn't chat on the tablet. I couldn't do any of that stuff on the tablet. So literally, I will have my tablet on, listening, but have the chat open on my phone. I could break out the laptop, but I usually don't. The speaker on there is crap. Hey, Swedish Lena. Hello from Australia. Hey, No Face. What's up? Early on, I was doing the peace out when I left, but I don't know. I think I'm too old for that to sound right. What's funny is, I don't feel old, other than physically. But I mean, in my brain, I don't feel old. It's not till I look in the mirror. I don't know. It's weird. So when I do say it, I'm usually just joking. Wow, it is super dead tonight. I may not stay as late as I normally do. I'll give it a few more minutes because they still might be coming back from meals at 6:30, and maybe there's some people late for night shift. I gotta remember not to walk the wrong way when I leave. Almost got run over because where I parked and where I had to cross, there was no crosswalk. So I literally just walked up into traffic and hoped they stopped. That was supposed to lunch nap. Oh. What time is it for you? Are you in Sweden? I know I had to deal with that a lot when my husband was overseas. Like when he was in Korea, I think it was 12 hours. I'm not sure. I just know if it was day, it was night for him. Then he was in Bosnia, Iraq, Panama, Colombia, Nicaragua. Is that it? I think that's it. I never got to go anywhere.
Yeah. Like, I never really had it for this much.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Like, me and Owen go around.
I can put you to sleep. I talk my husband to sleep. Oh, Susan! Yay! Cool. Oh, let me know. Is it allowing you to do a member chat? I noticed on somebody's channel that I couldn't do a member, like you, milestone chat. And I wanted that to be available, and so if it wasn't available, I need to fix that. I got influenza and heading back to bed. Oh goodness. I'll tell you, when I get sick a lot, and I found honey, because you can take it as much as you want, and I get bronchitis. I get it in the lungs a lot. Pineapple juice. I had pineapple juice one time, and that's all I had. No medications, and I actually got over it faster than I had ever done before. So I hope you feel better, because flu sucks. It totally sucks. So definitely feel better. Good thoughts your way. Hey, were you the one that about the Reiki energy? I think you were. Am I right? I suck at remembering names. Well, hold on. That is so loud. So, I had clicked out, but I saw you mention you were sending it. So, I did catch that. I appreciate it. I slept good that night. I haven't been, but I did that night. I listened to, it's 432 megahertz. There's all these megahertz on YouTube. SBTVfoundation.com. I just zoned out. Oh. I forget what is the 432. I don't know if that's healing or sleep, but that's what I listen to at night. It does lead to a good night's sleep. Awesome. I've noticed when I play the 432 megahertz, it's very difficult for me to wake up if it's still playing, which it usually is. Yeah. Awesome. I want to get a Reiki massage really bad. I bought a diagram one time. I have it at home somewhere. For the feet and the hands. I told you I'm into all kinds of interesting stuff. I believe energy is real. I believe everybody has it. I believe we're connected by it. Even though I'm a Christian. Some people think being Christian and believing that doesn't go together, but I do. It works for me. I know I don't look that healthy, but I really changed my diet in 2013, 2014. And many of my symptoms went away. I was sleeping better. I was bedridden back then too. I got out of bed. So I really try to make sure I eat well. To be honest, I haven't been. I really haven't been. I need to get back on that. You can look up Delphi Academy Los Angeles and find the lawsuit because they allowed a child predator to work at their school and wouldn't turn him into the authorities. Instead, they gave him a glowing review to the Albert Einstein Academy, where he assaulted 6 more children, and now he's in prison. because it wasn't a Scientology school. Scientology covers up for child predators. Somebody was smoking skunk weed or something. Sorry, that was gross. I'm looking at what you said, because I have an hour and a half drive. I don't think I want to get tired. So in a couple hours maybe, after I leave, if you're still awake. Well, it's morning for you, isn't it? When I get home, I'll try to remember to break out the laptop and answer the emails so we can schedule that interview again.
11 seconds.
This week's been weird. Yeah. I wish I would have had more access to it when I was more sick. I tried different things. Like I said, the going the gluten-free, guys, I know a lot of people are my age in the chat sometimes. So I try to talk about it because it can help anything with inflammation, chronic pain, autoimmune diseases. And I didn't even believe it when I was first told. It took me another year before I tried it. When I went gluten-free, my tremors stopped mostly. I had more energy, less pain. Not a lot, but less. And I slept better. And I try to only eat fresh or frozen produce. I stay away from anything that's like shelf stable. And I read every ingredient list. If I don't recognize something, I'm not getting it. That's why pretty much all I drink is water and coffee, because everything has preservatives in it. It's ridiculous. Oh, okay. Awesome, Cinderella. That's cool. I did like, the organized, going to church when the kids were young. Our family, that was our social life was pretty much at church, because I'd had some toxic people in my life before that. So I do miss it a little bit, being in a group. I really liked, the classes, being in Sunday school classes and stuff, because we would all... Oh. Covering the mic. That guy. Right there. I hate loud motorcycles. Oh my god, that was so loud. I had to cover the mic. Because I don't know what the phone will cancel out and what it doesn't. So I just cover it. Oh, it gives me a headache. I had a motorcycle. And I didn't like loud motorcycles. I think it's ridiculous. There's no point. I didn't even want to hear it. I liked that my bike was kind of quiet. Anyway, what did I miss? Oh, Cinderella. Yeah, I don't know, did you hear about my nickname, Hillbilly Hippie? That's how I got on the subject. And I kind of brought it up last Saturday. Because, something the Dalai Lama said. He said, don't eat angry chickens. And I took that to heart. Yeah, it was a cool light. Oh, hi, Hitzel. Did I even say hi? We just started talking. Hello. Glad you're here. He said something to the point. I couldn't find the book. I don't think I have it anymore. We had a bunch of books destroyed in a flood, and I think it was one of them. But he said if the chicken is angry and you eat the meat from that chicken, it will contain his anger or his distress. So I try to only get stuff. I couldn't be a complete vegetarian. I just can't. Maybe someday. But I try to get free range as much as I can. I will send you some. Okay. Honestly, that's about what time I go to bed, AA. About 2, 3 in the morning. That's early. If I can get to sleep by 3 a.m., I'm good. But when my husband, like, he just had his weekend and we were up till 4 something in the morning watching TV together because that's when he's awake. And that just throws me off all week until I can. Usually the only way I can fix it is to literally stay up all night one night and all day and then be tired. He used to, when he first started working nights, he used to stay up when he would get home that first day and like do stuff. That was years ago. He's older and he has a hernia, and as a matter of fact, he's supposed to have surgery later this month. So he doesn't do that anymore, and it screws up my sleep. So he used to stay up and be on a normal schedule on the weekend and then just take a nap before he went back to work, and it worked really well. Well, he just can't do it anymore. I grew up on a chicken farm. All chickens are angry when they are butchered. That's true. That is true. Well, actually, did you know that the Dalai Lama became a vegetarian because he saw chicken slaughtered? I just found that out. That wasn't even in the book. I was trying to look up the quote. I couldn't find it. But I did find out in 1960, he was visiting India, and he was in, I don't remember who, but his rooms overlooked the outside area behind the kitchens. And he saw a chicken butchered, and that made him become a vegetarian. You think you're screwed? Yeah, probably. I had chickens too. My husband was saying the other day, he says, we should have used our chickens. And I said, honey, I couldn't have done it. They were pets. We only had, the most we ever had was 4. And just for the eggs. I said, they were so spoiled. They would come, when I only had the two first ones, they would come in at night and I would put a blanket on the wing chair by the front door and they would go to sleep because we didn't have a good chicken coop at first. But it didn't even matter. I still let them come in. Once we went to 4, we got a really good chicken coop. But the reason, and I said, honey, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have. And then the reason we won't get more chickens is it was just so hard to keep chickens when it's 110 degrees outside. They told us to put snacks in ice, let them peck. They wouldn't do any of that. And they looked so uncomfortable. So once we had a possum, my husband, when he would leave at 9 o'clock, he would lock up the coop, and he didn't. And the possum got him. We were at 2 at that point because my daughter took some. Well, then she had a hawk come down and try to steal one of the chickens and couldn't get it lifted over the fence. So my daughter sat outside with a shotgun every time she let him out to free range. And then after a few weeks, she didn't see him anymore. So she didn't, and he didn't try to take the chicken the second time. He just attacked it in the yard, and that was not, she was upset. I'm deathly afraid of chickens. Oh, I've heard people who are. And so is my twin sister, because we were traumatized as toddlers at a daycare that had a chicken coop on the property. Yeah, toddlers and chickens don't really mix. Well, they have 3 levels of members. Yeah. Do you mind being on camera?
Nah, I'll say what's up.
Okay. I'm gonna turn it around on us.
Wait, are you live streaming?
Yep.
Oh, really? On
Yeah,
what?
we're right here.
On what?
Come over here. YouTube?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a
shit.
bunch of us doing this now. And the problem is they have
Hey,
three
fuck
levels.
these motherfuckers, bro.
They have 3 levels of members. You have the public, like Tom Cruise, that spend all the money on their courses and stuff.
Yeah.
But then you have the Sea Org, and when you sign into the Sea Org, which is usually happens at 13 or 14, you sign for life, and you can't ever leave.
Yeah, I heard about
If you
that.
try to leave, they will drag your butt back. And so that's why it's a cult and not a religion. A cult doesn't let you leave. A religion does.
Yeah.
And
I heard how they can't see their families again. Is that true?
if they're non-Scientology, if they're Scientologists, they can. But a lot of times when you're in the Sea Org, they split you up in different countries and different states. And like if you're in the Sea Org, that's the slave labor. If somebody in your family dies, they won't even sometimes let you go to the funeral or anything. But if you have family members that leave Scientology, they call it disconnection. And you have to disconnect from them. You can never talk to them again. Even if it's your spouse, you have to get a divorce if you stay in and they get out.
And what have they done? They kill you or something or what? Like what?
Oh, they have a branch called Office of Special Affairs, and their only job is to go after enemies of the church. And they'll hire PIs. They'll harass you. They've poisoned dogs. They've called people's jobs. They'll harass you until you just like, I'm done. You win. Because they have a lot of money.
Yeah, these guys are.
That's why this cult
fucked up
hasn't been brought down like all the others. Because this is the only cult that has $1 billion in the bank, an offshore
they
bank
got, like,
account.
Famous actresses on them.
And they've given them hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. Have you ever seen that South Park episode? They do an episode called just look up South Park Scientology. And everything they say in that is absolutely true. The only thing is most people, even in Scientology, don't know that story. You have to pay to go up to the confidential levels to find that story out.
Yeah.
But the reason the child abuse happens is they believe they've lived multiple lives. So when they have a child, they believe it's lived multiple lives, and its last life, he could have been an 80-year-old man.
Yeah.
And so that's why the child abuse is so rampant, because they look at them as adults in small bodies. They don't nurture them. They don't care about school.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 foundations. Whoa, that'll help them escape.
Have we gotten anything from these people or not?
What do you mean?
Like, have they said anything to you or not?
No, they're supposed to ignore me. As a matter of fact, they close up when I get here. They close the doors and the blinds
typical.
when I get here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good that you at least know Scientology bad.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know all the details.
Yeah. I know how they like think there's like their own god or something like that.
No, they don't have a deity. They believe in the tech. These courses they take will teach you they think when they get to the top of the confidential levels, they'll be able to control matter, space, and time.
Oh yeah.
And energy.
Yeah.
And
they sound like some losers.
and it's a lot of coercion. It's a lot of,
Yeah.
they love bomb you at first, get you in, then take all your money, and then they pressure you to stay in and keep doing it. So that's even the people inside though, I consider them victims. Huh?
You think those guys are in it?
No. He might be a public in the suit. Oh, they all are.
They're going in there.
Yep. Children should not be in auditing.
Damn.
Yeah. They're told we're evil.
They took that kid in there.
Yeah, we see those kids a lot.
Damn.
And the kind of training they put them through at such a young age it would be child abuse anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they think it's normal.
Yeah, these guys are evil, wicked. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the leader who created it was the worst.
What's his name? You know?
L. Ron Hubbard. He was a science fiction writer in the 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1950, he wrote a book called Dianetics and started these Dianetic centers, and then that turned into Scientology. And the only reason he did it was to make money. He didn't believe any of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he told somebody, he goes, I'm not making money on my science fiction. The only way to make money is to start a religion. So he did.
Yeah.
But he learned, have you ever heard of Aleister Crowley in the occult?
No.
He was around in like the late 1800s. He died in 47. But he was into black magic and Satanism and all that. Well, L. Ron Hubbard actually studied under one of his people to learn to control people. He learned hypnotism, how to mind control, and that's what he used, and he put in the training. So even though he's not there, it's baked into the religion in the training that they all have to go through, and that it really does work.
Is it true? They all stay at one place.
Depends on who you are. If you're the slave labor, Sea Org, yes, they will house you. We know in Chicago they have 8 people to a studio apartment. We don't know if they house the Sea Org in this building or they have an apartment. They only get $50 a week, and if they don't make money, they're going to eat beans and rice. There's no medical care. They don't believe in doctors. They believe that the tech will heal them. Then you have the staff, which is mostly what you see in here, and they just do their shift. It's still 80 to 100 hours a week. They're supposed to get $200 a week, but if they don't make money, they don't get paid. So then sometimes they have a second job to pay the rent, or they have a spouse that has a job.
Yeah.
And
wait, so they can have another job?
no, they do. They do to pay. So they work 80 to 100 hours a week here, and then they go to a moonlight job.
Oh no.
Sleep deprivation is really big in controlling people, so that really deprives them of sleep. Because I talked to a guy that signed up to be staff. I think he wasn't a member. He just signed up for staff. They talked him into it. He wasn't getting paid and happened to go to a church down the street to get fed. So he eventually left, but he wasn't a Scientologist. He just signed on.
He signed on.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah. And so mainly they're not getting new members.
Yeah.
We're just here.
I expected these guys.
Yeah, it's mostly second and third generation of people that got in 50, 60 years ago when they couldn't go on the internet and find the truth. They're not allowed the internet. They're not allowed TV. They're not allowed to read books
That's
other than L. Ron Hubbard. It's very inclusive.
That's super boring.
Yeah. Our biggest goal is to get hearings in Congress about their tax exempt status, because if they didn't have that, they wouldn't have all the money they have or the protection. There's a lot of law enforcement that won't investigate because it's a so-called church. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So, but yeah, I'm glad you at least know Scientology bad.
I'm glad to stop by.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening. All right.
You take care.
You too. You have a good evening. So he knew that there was nothing good about him. He just didn't quite know the details. What I missed. I don't even like looking. Still talking about the chickens.
Live?
Yeah. How you doing?
Alright. I'm assuming you're not for this. Yeah, this is Satanism.
Oh, he did. You know, the leader studied under Aleister Crowley's protege before he started this.
Satan runs this, but he's done a really good job at making it look specific. Like, oh, it's so different than the rest. You go in and they got all they're really gonna suck you, and it's not a good place. That's all I have to say.
That's why I'm out here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God bless.
You too. Oh, thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. I noticed that there is NLP language patterns found in the... Oh, yeah. Many of the terms used also contain pseudo... Now, I don't know what that meant. Presuppositions. I don't know what that means, but we do know. And this is where ex-members come in handy so much, because different people have gone on their channels and showed us what the training looks like. And that's something I was very interested in. And it is, very repetitive. And they said when they were doing I think it's the auditor training, they said, you have to stare at somebody for like 2 hours and you go into a trance-like state. So, I mean, that's the sad part, is he was scary smart. The guy was smart. He just put it to in the wrong place. He could have done many other things, but he wanted to be a shyster. So, yeah, I got used to using the like button. It's like habit now, because when I was deep diving Aaron's videos for I went back a year. I couldn't do all of his videos. This was in 2022. So I just went back a year. The problem is he wore the same shirt in every episode. So how was I going to know if I'd already seen it or not? So I would hit the like button. And I do other things like that too. There's other things that, you know, I watch, and that's helpful to know. Like I'll go, oh, I already watched this. So that helps me know I've already watched something. And then if I do like something, it ends up being trash or misrepresented or clickbait, then I take it off or they get a downvote. I only downvote clickbait. If it says, oh, this, and this, and you go in and it has nothing to do with it, I'm like, dude, I don't appreciate you wasting my time. Johnny Yost, how are you? Okay. You are welcome to your opinion. Okay. Why won't it let me? Yeah, that's good, Anna. Oh. You didn't have a membership before, did you? Well, for some reason, it's not letting me put him in timeout. That's all I wanted to do. It only let me remove it or something. So, yeah, it helps me a lot in things. If I go back and I'm looking up something similar, I'm like, oh, I've already seen this. 'Cause, you know, my memory is Swiss cheese anyway. So, I'll be like, oh, this sounds interesting. Oh, I've already watched it. Yeah. I don't know who that person was. That was weird. But I'm pretty lucky. You guys know I don't have a lot of trolls. Even when I go vertical, it's not too bad. So, I appreciate you guys being here. I mean, it's a Friday evening for most of us. Some of you, it's tomorrow morning. And I appreciate it tons. You guys keep me company. Have something to talk about. It was dead like this last time I was here late. So, I'm going to try to I tried to get here earlier than usual, but the universe was against me tonight, I guess. Yeah, I just wanted to put that guy in a few minute timeout because I don't like to remove or delete unless they get really ridiculous. Thanks, Anna Banana. I appreciate it. Life's been getting in the way lately. My goal before was I was coming 3 days a week. I've only been averaging 2 lately. But usually I see more public on Friday night too. It's like they didn't have a graduation because those people came in, but it's way after graduation would have started. So they're just coming in for courses. So if they don't have somebody actually graduating, I'm assuming they don't hold a graduation. So you know what that tells me? If they're not having graduations on a regular basis,
you're doing God's work.
Thank you. That's telling me they don't even have people finishing courses on a regular basis. That's interesting. I hadn't thought quite that far yet. But yeah, I mean, many Fridays I've showed up did not, because you know, I usually see a bunch of public come in, they're carrying food and all this stuff, and I didn't see anybody come in. Not for a graduation, and I haven't for a while. That's why I come on Friday, because I'm hoping to say loud things at the public or signing up for courses. Yeah, I know it is a good thing, Susan. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it's working. I wish we had a way to know. We can only guess. But it's pretty cool. I'll be honest, compared to last spring, I won't compare summer, because without the students here, summer was a bit weird. But I remember last spring when I started seeing way more public coming in and out. way more. Like, there was a good 20 something people that we saw quite often. I don't even, the lady with the scooter, I haven't seen her. There was an older gentleman, I haven't seen him. I mean, I could have just missed him. I'm not here very often. But I just feel like the traffic going in and out has really reduced. Unless, well, there is the chance they're going in the back. There is that possibility. Hey, Lady Smurf. Hey, Gordon. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gordon. I appreciate the sub. It'll help. Summer was brutal. It was. And it was unusually more brutal than most. I hope next summer's not so bad. Now I've got to gear up for winter, the 2 months of winter we get. Because I'm like, I wasn't outside last winter, and I haven't been outside much. And I was thinking, well, I got to find my gloves. I don't even know if I have a decent winter coat. Because, you know, I used to just go to the car and go somewhere. I didn't really bundle up. Hoping to join. Oh, awesome. Are you going to start a channel? That'd be cool. Let me know. My email's usually in my descriptions. I didn't get to add a description today. I was in a hurry. I'll try to add it later. If you start a channel, let me know. I'll promote it so you can get your 50 subs. Because people help me get mine. Yeah, I do, Amy. I need good footwear. Well, I have to buy boots for this job, so that'll help. But I realized today when I need long socks. All my socks are short, and even though I'm in jeans, my ankles were cold this morning. I was like, so I need long socks. I have gloves, I just gotta find them. I saw a fleece coat at Walmart that I think I might get. Really? Wow, Lady Smurf, thank you. Thank you so much.
That is a lot. I was like, got off the stuff.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not getting much good protesting done today. I was hitting them hard when I had a lot of traffic with that lawsuit that's going on with it's really good. It really gets people's interest. When I first showed up today, I hit him with the Delphi Academy lawsuit for the child predator, and I got that out before they closed the door. And there was a lady off to the left, I don't know if you could see her on camera, that stopped in her tracks to listen to what I was saying. That's why I get loud. It's not always for the people inside. It's for people outside. Because if they may not want to stop, but if they hear me say something like that, they might look something up. Like the fact that they cover for child predators in their Scientology daycares and don't tell the parents when they're attacked. They just move the predator on to somewhere else. Look up Albert Einstein Academy, or I gotta go back and look. I can't remember if Randall, crap, what was his name? Was the predator or the victim? I can't remember. I gotta go back and check that out. Yeah, I appreciate you lurking. It helps keep things going. I know, but there's a guy coming up right now. Delphi Academy Los Angeles is being sued by a victim because they allowed a child predator to be on their premises and didn't turn them into the authorities. Now he's in prison. I love that door. It always tries to eat him. The faster they try to get in through it, the more it tries to squish them. Do they have a basement here? That would be surprising. Texas doesn't usually have basements.
I need a break. I need a break.
I don't know. I think he was just trying to ignore me. He put his head down and tried to sprint in. The door doesn't let him. They thought they were helping because the door was cracked all the time. They could hear us. So they tightened the crap out of it. It's not fixed. They just tightened it so much that now it tries to eat them. If you don't swing it open hard enough and you try to go in quick, it will squish you. I'm sure they have bruises. That thing will give you bruises. The basement is huge. Oh, they had a few shelves down there. Really? I didn't know that. Printing and really? That's surprising. Door tech fail. Yep. I'm like, they came up with money to frost the doors, but couldn't come up with a door repair person. And they broke it in the first place. I don't know what they were trying to do, but Pearl said they were up there with a screwdriver and a hammer banging the crap out of it, and that's how they broke it the first time. Their policies state that they do not trust the justice system yet. We know. They believe that they are the only ones who can actually fix the predator. Oh, I know. And an arcade. Jeez. Yeah, I know. And that's the sad part. I've heard that a lot. They think more Scientology will fix them. I'm like, well, it didn't fix them the first time, or the second time, or the third time, or the 15th time. I didn't get to listen to all of Natalie's show today. I listened to part of it just about, things that are covered up and that there are... I wish we could get some of that evidence out, It does get frustrating sometimes because we can't get the powers that be, Congress, law enforcement, whoever, to take a long look at Scientology. There was that senator that knew what he needed to know about Scientology and mentioned it. I saw a clip. But I'm like, okay, guy, if you know that, why aren't you telling I think it's the Ways and Means Committee, don't quote me on that. There's only one committee in Congress that can start an investigation into a 501c organization, or the IRS, which we know they won't do anything, or the DOJ. That's all we have. But I know we're making inroads. I see people going to those commissioner meetings, the council meetings, and like I said before, I'm going to end after this. Just go to your local newspaper in your area and look at their website and type in Scientology. I was flabbergasted when I did that to a town in Texas that was nowhere near an org. And they had dozens and actually I didn't even see them all. I just saw a whole bunch and I was like, crap. And I did email them, but I didn't get a response. I should try again. Anyway, just to let them know, give them links, because like I said before, most of these people don't know anything. They get what they think is a what did I just call it? I just got a headache. Press release from a church, and they will put most newspapers will put press releases for churches in a section, and they just take their press release and they put it in. And the thing is now, because they're not in print anymore only, they used to have a limited amount of space. So they wouldn't put those things in. Well, now because it's online, they can put as much stuff on there as they want. And if we just contacted our local newspapers and worked small and worked your way out, just keyboard warriors, one email a week, and just let them know, I'll bet you there's a lot of them that would stop receiving those press releases or stop putting them on their website. They don't know any better. I didn't 2 years ago. I didn't know anything. So I think that's a way we could stop. LA Public Works, yes. All they need to do, I know, is a raid and go through those PC folders, you will find everything Scientology documents, everything. I know. That's what we need the most. I mean, we made a dent in the Danny Masterson case because they allowed Scientology into the case. That was a big change. That was a big deal. And all it takes is for one policy to change, one judge, one prosecutor to get that stuff into the trial, for it to be on public record, and for people to see it and say, what the heck? That's why all I hope is Mike Rinder, if he's gonna put out videos, all I want is to see a video spilling the tea on Scientology and what he knows, because we all understand that he was probably afraid of getting in trouble himself because he was in charge. I get that. He doesn't have that fear anymore, and he knows a lot. I really hope, or he leaves a journal or files or anything. Maybe it'll come out after he passes. Maybe he doesn't want to do it himself. I'm praying that there's files somewhere that can be released after he passes. I called in today. Oh, okay. Now I get what you meant. Scientology needs to be totally unsafe pointed. Yup. If Scientology only lost their tax-exempt status, so many things would or could change. I know. And like I said, that's even going to take a lot. Because I've heard there's only one committee in Congress that can do that. Or we have to go the DOJ route, because the IRS not only folded and let them have it back in the 90s, 96, 93, I can't remember. But they added caveats to that. I don't know if I'm using that word right. Added extra protections. So there used to be like 5 ways you could go after a 501c. They took 4 of them away. The only one left is finding them guilty of something criminal through the DOJ. It has to be a crime, which we know they exist, but we can't get them to do the investigation. Maybe if I keep tweeting to Trump about the cult. Ooh, that's a good idea. I forgot he was on Twitter. Jamie Raskin didn't speak too fondly of Scientology. I recognize that name. Is that senator? Yeah. So why isn't he going further than just talking about it? Yes, okay, Jamie Raskin. We need to send that guy emails. A lot. We need to inundate his office with letters and emails. Yeah, maybe. That's my only hope. But who knows, where Scientology falls on the radar. Hi, come on. You're over here. Going over here. What you want to know?
I've heard Scientology is a cult. I've never looked into it.
Okay.
I just want to know, why.
Because a cult doesn't let their members leave. They have 3 levels of membership, okay? You have the public, like Tom Cruise, that gives them a bunch of money and takes courses. But then you have the lowest level called Sea Org. The original leader, he created it it's like a military wing. And when you sign up, you sign a $1 billion contract. You have to work for them until you die. And they stopped allowing them to even have children in the Sea Org. You can get married, but if you get pregnant, they'll ship you to the clinic.
Can I ask, why do you think the security camera over there points inward and outward?
Oh, they have to watch their members. They're not allowed to mess up either. They're not allowed to talk to people. They're not allowed to go on the internet. They're not allowed. If they have a cell phone, trust me, it's nannied up the wazoo. They can only read L. Ron Hubbard's books. That's when they're open, you see the bookstore. It's only one author. It's all L. Ron Hubbard. He was a science fiction writer who created this religion. in 1950.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he told somebody, he says, I'm not making any money on my science fiction. I'm going to start a religion. That's where the money is. He didn't believe none of this stuff. He made it all up. But he really studied hypnotism and mind controlling people. And a lot of these people in here are victims themselves. They're second and third generation. So you have the Sea Org that parents in Scientology love to be able to say that they put their kids in the Sea Org at 12, 13, 14 years old. They take them out of school. They haven't had an education. They work 80 to 100 hours a week. They house them and feed them, but they're supposed to get $50 a week. If they don't make any money, which they're not when I'm here. They get fed beans and rice. They don't get their $50 a week. And I don't know where they house them here. I don't know if it's in here, but in Chicago, they opened right after this. They have 8 people in a studio apartment.
Have you been to the one?
No. Everything I have learned in the last 2 years ago, I knew nothing. Was ex-members who have escaped have YouTube channels and told me directly from their mouth there's these horrendous stories that they've been through. They've had people escape in trunks of cars, run off the road. They've found them at bus stations and brought them back. If they think you're going to try to escape, they'll put you in a room with a guard. You're not even allowed to question anything. If you were like, well, I don't know, what about this? You immediately get sent to ethics. You get a sec check, which is an interrogation. Where did you get this idea? Who told you this or that or the other? It's very controlled. Yeah. And so I consider them victims too, because they're second and third generation. They don't know any better. And there's 2 foundations that'll help them escape. How many religions do you know that have 2 foundations to help them escape? They'll help them get an apartment, a GED, a job, because a lot of times they come out without any education. Yeah, all of these people, if you want to take a picture, they're adults now, 30s, 40s. They were put into the Sea Cadets at 7, 8, and 9 years old, getting no education and doing manual labor all day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, check it out. And a lot of these people, you might find, there's 200 channels now with SPTV is what we're loosely called. People like me, this really only started a year ago. People like me, we're all over the world now doing what I'm doing right here. Small channels like me just coming out, filming, showing they don't have 30 million members. We literally see the same 20 people going in and out. But no, if you leave the church, they will brand you an enemy, and they have a special department called Office of Special Affairs that will harass you, go through your trash, follow you. They hire private eyes to follow you. I don't know if you heard of the Danny Masterson trial last year. He's an actor that was a Scientologist, and 3 women finally got him in court for drugging and R-ing them while they were Scientologists over the last 20 years. There's 10 victims in all that we know. He's in prison for 30 years to life. That was the first time any Scientologist was ever taken to trial by another Scientologist, because they're not allowed to do that. But it was so horrendous that they pushed it, and when they left, all that happened to them. They call it fair gaming. They go through their trash, they follow you, they harass you, they call your job, they poison their dogs. One died. And they'll call your job and give them stories. I mean, how many churches do you know that has a department to go after the church's enemies? Trust me, 2 years ago, if you'd have told me what I'm saying right now, I'd have been like, oh, you're crazy. It's true. Go on YouTube and look up South Park Scientology. It's about John. It's all true. But most of the people in here don't know about the Xenu and the other galaxy and all that, because you have to pay to go up the confidential levels. And you find that out in level 3. And there's a lot of members who, at level 3, when they found that out, were like, oh no, this is stupid. But they couldn't get out because their job was with a Scientologist, their family were Scientologists. So we call what under the radar. They don't believe anymore, but they can't leave. Yeah.
Well, thanks for telling us.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for, because they bought this building 55 years ago on purpose, because it was next to the university, to get young people like you sucked in.
Wait, so is that like when they call you into the personality test?
Everything they do. They have open mic night. They go on campus and give out pamphlets. They do all these different things to get people to come in. And they love bomb you at first. You know, oh, you know, we're this great entity. And then once you're in for a while, then if you want to get out, it's really hard. It's coercion, pressure, you know, it's difficult. I feel really... So when I drive 75 miles from where I live to come here, because when I heard this open in February, I was like, they're not getting their claws on these young people. Thank goodness for it's social media is going to bring them down, because they've lived in secrecy since 1950, and they don't know how to combat 200 channels on YouTube all working for the same thing. It's called, if you go to sptv.space, it has all the channels. If you went on there right now, you'd see me at the top because I'm live. All the countries and cities we're all in. And I'm not that tech savvy, so I've never heard of 200 channels on YouTube all working for the exact same goal. All doing the same thing. And I wish somebody would take note of just that and to be like, why is this happening? And that's what we're just trying to, you know, get the word out, really.
Good, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
much.
stopping.
No, thanks for telling us.
Yeah. Let your friends know. Just tell them, don't go in there, man.
Well, it's really strange. Whenever like anyone talks about it, I'm like, oh hell no.
You kind of know. Hi.
It's the Presbyterian church or something.
The Presbyterian?
Yeah, yeah.
Where is it?
Right here, the church.
No, this is Scientology.
Yeah, but you know.
She's asking, is there a church around here?
Oh, there's several. There's one right there. There's
Yeah.
one behind here.
It's behind.
But I don't know what they're called.
Okay.
That one is, I think, Baptist. There's one right behind here on San Antonio Street. Okay, it's back there. Okay. Oh, she just wanted directions. I love it when I get young people. Love it, love it, love it. So he knew, oh hell no, but the whole time, you couldn't see, could you see her? The whole time she's like, nah, she was shocked. I don't know if I got her on camera or not, but, oh, thanks, Janet. I always wanted to be a teacher, so, I don't know, I just felt like I would want to find out. You know, the main parts first, stay to the point. I send the students to her. Oh, I'm happy with the number, honestly, of subscribers I have. I have enough, you know, people in my chat to, you know, talk with and stuff. So I don't really have any other goals. I just don't like it when I lose a lot. And usually when that happens is because I'll be gone for a time. Like if I'm gone, it's medical or vehicle, or weather. Sometimes it's just weather, because I don't want to be standing out here, even if it's not actively raining. If it's really cloudy and supposed to rain, I'm in between metal poles. So those are the only reasons I don't come. Yeah, it's a cozy chat, which is fine. Honestly, if it was any bigger, I probably wouldn't be able to handle it. So, it's enough that I'm live.
Should we go in?
Don't give them your real information. That's all I suggest.
I've been in and gave them my fake information.
Okay.
What's your YouTube? I see
Miss
what-
Kim SP.
How many viewers do you have?
Right now, 16.
16?
Yeah, I have like 60 subscribers. We were just talking about that. I said I like that I'm not huge. It'd be too much trouble.
What is it?
Miss Kim.
A miss?
Miss. MISSKIM SP. SP means suppressive persons, enemy of the church.
Were you? What got you into learning about Scientology or anything?
2 years ago, I
Sorry,
knew
I'm
nothing.
cutting you.
No. I'm here for you guys.
Okay.
I'm here to spread the word. They're
Okay.
just here supporting me doing it.
Okay.
So, 2 years ago, I knew nothing. Do you mind being on camera?
No, I don't care.
All right. 2 years ago, I knew nothing, and I happened to be bedridden. I'm not going to get in the whole story because I'm better now. He gave me the time, and this guy popped in my YouTube. who was an ex-member who escaped and was telling his story. And I deep dived like a year of his videos and learned the whole that goes on in Scientology. And now there's a lot of channels of ex-members that are out there telling us their stories. Now, about a year ago, people like me started popping up to protest all over the world. We have people in Australia, UK. I have people in my chat from AAs in South Africa. Somebody else is from Germany. And we're on all the orgs just letting people know the real deal about what's going on and trying to have as many channels on YouTube. But so when people, what we call under the radar Scientologists that know there's something wrong, but they can't say anything inside because they will get in so much trouble.
I think a lot of them who are kind of have a feeling that they don't.
Yes and no. The younger people you see now are second and third generation. They've been indoctrinated since they were kids. So I consider them victims too. So I don't give them a really hard time. There's two foundations that'll help them escape. How many churches do you know that have foundations to help them escape and get a job and get a GED? Because a lot of them hasn't had education because they don't care, because they don't have a deity. It's this tech, taking courses and learning your mind.
Right.
So, but they believe that they live multiple lives and that when they die, they go to a new baby body. So their kids they look at as adults in small bodies. They work them, they don't nurture them, they don't worry about education that much. And so if their child enters the Sea Org, which is their slave labor, and when you join the Sea Org, it's for life.
Yeah.
And I heard there was like a cruise. There used to be like
they do have a ship. They at one time had 3 ships. The reason is L. Ron Hubbard, the original founder, was in World War II in the Navy. And he was a nothing in the Navy. He screwed up everything. So he made the Sea Org and bought these ships and called himself Commodore. Now there's only one, and you have to go there to get the very top confidential level. You have to have about $150,000 to get up to that point.
Wow.
So if you don't have money, then you're slave labor. So,
they're the ones they could never go there. Like people who go on the ship have the money and they.
Oh, if they had the money and they wanted to do the confidential levels, they could, but they don't really. The Sea Org, and then they have staff.
Right.
And staff, now they sign a 2 to 5 year contract, but they work 80 to 100 hours a week. They're supposed to get 200 a week. But if they don't make money, which they're not because I'm here, they don't get that. I saw a guy, he came by and he told me he joined the staff, wasn't getting paid, and had to go to another church to get fed.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Awful.
But it's what brought me here was the child abuse and the elder abuse. Because when you get too old to work for them, they stick you in a house. It's all about the money, and they are really good at credit card fraud. Matter of fact, Chase Bank will not deal with Scientologists anymore because they were defrauded so much. We know this because Mike Brown, he's in the Army now after he escaped. He got his mom out last year, and she was $160,000 in debt, and she had no idea. They took these credit cards out in her name because they're like, well, when you die, they'll be gone. And they take your Social Security to pay the minimum payment.
Terrible.
Yeah, they have $1 billion in the bank. And they don't even know that. They're still supposed to fundraise and keep their stats up. They have no idea that their leader has $1 billion in offshore
and they
bank
just
accounts.
did this new millions of dollar building, and it looks so nice.
And you know how they did that?
Beautiful.
They had to get the money from local public members, and one of them was a student, and he got student loans, and he used the student loans to donate to the church, because you get a pat on the back when you donate a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, when his parents found out, they paid off his student loans because that's fraud. You can't take your student loan and donate it to an entity.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about this.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just want to make sure that you guys know enough. Scientology bad, don't go in.
Oh, believe me, I know. I didn't know as much as you, but I knew a little bit. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, I was going to be gone by now. Y'all want to come talk to me late. What time is it? I got to go, guys. Holy crap. My husband needs the car at 9 o'clock. Takes me an hour and a half to get home. Love you guys. Glad you were here. Did I miss anything?
David, should we go in for a minute?
Yo, Andrew, where are you?
Yeah, that's true, Janet.
Should we go in and invest with him for a little?
Oh, he's that guy.
Eric, yeah. He does. He's awesome. I did an interview with him in Selfless that was really fun. And I like his Sunday beach thing. Gotta go. See you later. Next thing I got is probably Saturday night, my late night chat. Come, we'll have fun.